Before you take another sip of beet juice today, I want you to look down at your legs. Do they feel cold? Do you ever notice a light tingling, like tiny pins and needles, or a heaviness so deep that even standing up from a chair feels tiring? If so, don't brush it off, because what I'm about to tell you may surprise you. Beet juice has been praised as a miracle drink for blood vessels. Many people over 50 drink it every day, hoping to protect their heart, clean their arteries, and stay healthy. But I need to say this as a doctor who has worked with older adults for decades. Drinking beet juice the wrong way can quietly weaken the blood flow to your legs. Not overnight, not with sharp pain, but through small familiar signs. So common that many people simply call it getting older. One of my patients once told me, "Doctor, my heart is fine, but I don't trust my legs anymore." That sentence stayed with me for a long time. Because after 50, your legs don't just help you walk. They protect your independence. They protect your freedom. They allow you to live life on your own terms. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 foods you should never combine with beet juice combinations that seem harmless, but may be blocking blood flow to your legs every single day. Stay with me. Let's talk like two friends. Slowly, honestly, and very real. Number 1, animal fats and fried foods. Butter, bacon, margarine, sausage, fried foods. Staples of the American breakfast. Picture a typical morning. You wake up and make a fresh glass of beet juice. Deep red, looks very healthy. Next to it, fried eggs, a few strips of bacon, maybe butter, on toast. Sounds balanced, right? But for your legs, it's a silent biological conflict. One of my patients, Linda, 64 years old, once said, "Doctor, I drink beet juice faithfully every morning. Why do my legs still feel swollen and heavy by noon?" When we looked at her breakfast, the answer was clear. When saturated fat from bacon and butter enters the bloodstream, within hours, the blood becomes thicker and slower. Red blood cells, which should stay flexible to pass through tiny capillaries in the feet, begin sticking together like coins stacked on top of each other. At the same time, beet juice is sending a helpful signal. Relax the vessels, let blood flow down to the legs, but animal fat acts like glue poured into a lock. The blood vessels hear the signal, but can't respond. And what happens? Not a heart attack, not immediate warning signs, just tired legs, mild ankle swelling, that heavy feeling when you stand up from a chair. Small signs many people ignore until walking itself becomes a real concern. I'm not telling you to fear fat. I just want you to remember this. Never drink beet juice at the same time as animal fats. Give your body space so your blood can breathe, because your legs aren't just for walking. They represent your freedom in the years ahead. Number 2. Walnuts and almonds when eaten raw and unsoaked. I know what you may be thinking right now. Wait, doctor, nuts are healthy, they're good for the heart, and you're not wrong. The problem isn't the food, it's the timing and the combination. One of my patients, Michael, 69 years old, was proud of his morning routine. He blended beets, a banana, and a handful of raw almonds, and told me, "Doctor, I'm drinking health every day." Then he paused and said, "But something's strange. At night, my legs cramp. Sometimes I have to sit up and rub them just to fall back asleep." Have you ever felt that deep aching pain in your calves at night, like your legs refuse to cooperate? Imagine your blood vessels as soft, flexible pipes. Beet juice signals them to open and relax. But for that to happen, the vessel walls need magnesium and potassium, 2 critical minerals. Here's what most people don't know. Raw, unsoaked nuts contain a natural compound called phytates. They're not bad, they protect the seed. But in older bodies, phytates act like mineral locks. They bind magnesium and potassium, preventing absorption. So what happens? You drink beet juice. Nitric oxide is produced, but the blood vessels in your calves don't have enough magnesium to relax. It's like having a key, but rusty hinges. The result? Nighttime leg cramps, restless legs, tightness even though you're doing everything right. I'm not telling you to avoid nuts. Just remember this simple rule. Don't drink beet juice with raw, unsoaked nuts. Soak them first or eat them a few hours apart. Sometimes staying healthy after 50 isn't about doing more. It's about stopping the wrong combinations. Number 3, alcohol and alcoholic beverages. I know this is a sensitive topic. Many people your age tell me, "Doctor, it's just one glass of red wine." That's heart healthy, right? And yes, one drink at the right time may not be a big issue. But when alcohol is consumed near the time you drink beet juice, everything changes. One of my patients, Susan, 62, enjoyed a glass of red wine in the evening. She said, "I drink beet juice in the afternoon for my legs, then wine at night to relax." Then she asked a question I'll never forget. "Why do my legs feel cold and deeply numb at night even when I'm just sitting?" Here's what's happening. Beet juice opens blood vessels and sends oxygen deep into leg muscles. Alcohol does the opposite quietly. Alcohol pulls water out of cells. It disrupts fluid balance. And more importantly, it interferes with the nervous system that controls blood vessels. Blood gets redirected toward the skin. Your face feels warm, your skin may flush. But the deeper vessels feeding your leg muscles tighten. In simple terms, skin feels warm. Muscles are starving for oxygen. After 50, this is dangerous because leg circulation is already fragile. Repeated oxygen deprivation leads to persistent cold legs, tingling, unsteady walking in the evening. What worries me most is that many people never connect this to alcohol. They blame age, but in reality, it's a conflict between alcohol and nitric oxide from beet juice. I'm telling you this the way I'd tell a family member. Avoid alcohol for 4 to 6 hours before or after drinking beet juice, not to make life miserable, but so your legs aren't slowly neglected in silence. Number 4, ginkgo biloba high-dose vitamin E and high-dose aspirin. I see this situation very often in my clinic. One of my patients, Harold, 71 years old, once came in carrying a small bag of supplements. He said to me very sincerely, "Doctor, I'm just trying to do everything right. I drink beet juice for my blood vessels. I take ginkgo for my memory and vitamin E for my heart." On the surface, it sounded like he was taking excellent care of himself. But then he asked a question that made me stop. "Lately, why do I keep getting small bruises on my legs? And every time I stand up, I feel a little lightheaded, like my legs aren't quite steady." Have you ever noticed tiny bruises on your lower legs and couldn't remember bumping into anything? Here's what I want you to understand in the simplest way possible. Beet juice opens blood vessels and increases blood flow. Ginkgo high-dose vitamin E and high-dose aspirin thin the blood and reduce platelet clumping. When these two effects happen at the same time, especially after age 50, when the small blood vessels in the legs are already thin and fragile, blood can move too fast and too forcefully through very delicate capillaries. It's like opening every water valve in an old plumbing system. This doesn't make you feel healthier. Instead, it can lead to fragile capillaries that break easily, a mild drop in blood pressure in the legs, a sense of instability, especially when standing or walking. I'm not telling you to fear beet juice, and I'm not telling you to stop your medications. But I do want you to remember this essential rule. Do not drink concentrated beet juice if you are taking high-dose blood-thinning medications or supplements unless you've spoken with a healthcare professional, and never overdo it. Sometimes too much of a good thing becomes too much for your legs to handle. Number 5, white bread French fries. Pastries, refined carbohydrates. I want you to picture this. You drink a clean, fresh glass of beet juice. Then a little later, you grab a slice of white bread or a few French fries because they're easy to eat. You think it's just a little starch, but inside your body, something very different is happening. Your blood sugar spikes within minutes, and every sharp spike like that creates molecules I often describe as tiny electrical sparks. Those sparks have one main target, nitric oxide, the very substance beet juice just produced to protect your blood vessels. So what happens? You drink beet juice, but the signal to relax your blood vessels is destroyed almost as soon as it appears. For your legs, this is especially harsh. Blood vessels become stiffer. Silent inflammation begins. Your feet may feel warm or burning, while deeper inside they feel numb and weak. Many people assume this is just aging nerves, but very often it's microcirculation damage. So I say this to you the same way I say it to myself. If you drink beet juice, avoid white starches and refined sugar around that time. Not forever, just don't mix two opposing signals at the same moment. After 50, taking care of your health isn't about piling on more and more things. It's about understanding your body well enough not to throw it into confusion. And your legs, they are always the first place where the truth shows up. Before you leave this video, I want you to remember one simple thing. After 50, the issue isn't how many healthy things you add, it's whether you're combining them the right way. Beet juice can help blood flow, but one small habit, one familiar meal, can quietly weaken your legs over time. Your legs aren't just for walking. They protect your independence, your freedom, and your confidence every day. If today you recognize one habit that needs to change, consider that your first step, small but meaningful. Leave a comment and tell me where you're watching from and what you plan to change starting tomorrow. I'm Dr. James Carter, wishing you good health and light, steady steps in the years ahead.